My name is Diane Jaeger, and I'm the Utah State Representative for Quilts of Valor. I've been the representative here in Utah since 2007 and have tried to introduce as many people in the state to cover our own wounded here at home as well as abroad. I joined the Air Force, and I ended up being stationed in Mountain Home, Idaho, and met my husband over in Korea, and stationed up at Fairchild, Spokane, Washington, and then I ended up going to Germany. I was stationed in Germany when I learned how to quilt, and when my children were little, I took a 5-year break. When I came back to Utah, I decided that I wanted to join the military again, and came into the reserve unit, which they hired me as an air reserve technician, which means that you are a Monday through Friday civilian military, and then on the weekends you train your troops, your weekend warriors. And when you get deployed with them, you're actually linked up with more active duty people. And when we got deployed right after 9/11 to Kuwait, and we were the first unit to build the weapons, the bombs, to drop in Afghanistan, and went back to Balad Air Base in Baghdad, Iraq, and served from 2005 to 2006. And when I was having some medical difficulties, when I came home, I got them checked out and was medically disabled to continue my job. The terminology would be that would be something along the lines of they would medically discharge you if you were not fit for duty. And because it was no fault of my own, they would find me another position on base. So I knew I was going to lose my military career. It took them 2 years to get me medically retired, and then I turned around and thought, well, how else can I serve my brothers and sisters? I ended up running across Quilts of Valor here at this show, and when I was shopping around for a long arm, because I wasn't able to do the things I could do with my hands anymore, and thought this would be great so I can keep my love of quilting going and still give back to my brothers and sisters. I'm very thankful for my past veterans. Those are my mentors. I have had a gentleman be a part of my life coming back into the military that showed me the ropes of being a good leader. And he was a Vietnam vet. Matter of fact, he just retired last year at the age of 60. And he's one of those down-to-earth gentlemen that was in Vietnam. We have so many gentlemen that have never been thanked, you know, that are now in nursing homes that haven't ever had that thank you. Not knowing Al Lynn and being able to quilt for him and knowing that he passed, I think has influenced a lot of people. I can't wait to see how many people will actually chime in about receiving a Quilt of Valor from him and how it's affected their lives, how they might have been able to pay it forward, or how they're sharing that Quilt of Valor with their families and how it has given them their therapy in life. To be able to know that Al's legacy will be continued on for generations, that quilt is going to be passed on, and know that my daddy received this. You know, my grandfather received Al Lynn's quilt. To know that that quilt covered so many lives, and in years to come, he's really made quilt history, and I want to see that honored. Visited with this group in Australia, and the lady was really fascinated to know that I had been stationed with some of their troops as well. And she went home and she was explaining it to her husband. Her husband ended up knowing one of the gentlemen of one of his mates, is what we would say, got a Quilt of Valor, and was telling everybody how wonderful this program was, and they just thought it would be neat if they could get a group going, and they said, how many people have quilters do I know? And I got with them, and before I knew it, by the time I got back from Australia, they had already contacted June Moore, our executive director of Quilts of Valor, and she hooked them all up and said, "Yeah, you're blessed," and so we're going to be growing down there as well. So it's amazing. I can't wait to go again to see how far they've grown. And I ran across Quilts of Valor. This is a very honorable organization that is going to be giving for a lifetime, and to make a quilt that's going to have that power of healing. It's actually giving me back my own therapy when I look at a quilt and I'm quilting them down. They just give me the power to know that there's loving stitches in here that's going to heal somebody. They're going to know that the American people are going to care about them. And when they go and have that touch and that feel of some other person that they've never met or will never see, they're going to say, wow, this is from people that were miles away, but were able to say, here's something warm, healing, loving, and just the comfort of knowing that arms are wrapped around them at all times. When I'm stitching in them, I'm just thinking of the blessing that I have had in my life. To have a talent and not use it is a shameful thing. And to be able to share your talent with others and coach somebody else into making something or convincing somebody else to also give is something that is very powerful, because when you give, it's going to return to you tenfold.